Hello and welcome back to TIKI Tuesday. My name is Brian. I'm an artist for Star Wars, Doctor Who, Tiki mugs, all kinds of fun stuff. And tonight we're going to be hanging out. I'm going to be doing a Tiki drawing and we're going to enjoy some cocktails. So good to see everybody tonight. That's who I am. That's what I do. But I want to hear about you, what you're up to, what your favorite Tiki drinks are. Tonight's cocktail is the Don't Tell Richard. I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see it, hopefully. Where are we at? Almost? There we go, the Don't Tell Richard. This one's courtesy of Shaker and Spoon. And you can see it's got a rum in there, some coconut cold brew, made that myself, some Malby syrup, bitters, orange, banana. Should be a lot of good. So that's the Don't Tell Richard. That's from Shaker and Spoon. I put the link in the chat for anybody who's interested in that. Not a commercial. I don't get paid for it or anything like that. You can see they put the cocktail on the back with their name, and then you get all the ingredients and the instructions, and they give you everything except for the alcohol. So it's kind of fun. So tonight we're going to have ours courtesy. Hey, let's do this. Great to see you. Long time no see. Let's do this. And you just resubscribed on month number 12. That means you got the final hat, the fez of honor for Let's Do This. Congratulations and thank you for continued support. It's been far, far too long since we've seen you. So tonight we're enjoying the cocktail in the Creepy Tiki. This is a glass that Quench Press got for me. And you can see we've got our banana and our orange in there, ready for the cocktail. Again, the cocktail is called the Don't Tell Richard. Good to see you, Let's Do This. Good to see you, Quench Press. I was just talking about you, Quench, if you missed it. We're using the Creepy Tiki glass tonight, courtesy of Quench Press. And there's the orange and the banana and all the good stuff in there. And again, this cocktail is called the Don't Tell Richard. So we'll give that a shake. Hopefully it'll be a good one. All the ingredients sound super good, that's for sure. Do this not over the artwork, if I can help it. That's a tough shaker right there. Tough shaker. All right, see if we can do this without making a mess. All right, there's our awesome glass. And here comes the Don't Tell Richard. Now mine's a double, so we'll see how far this goes. I don't have a straw, so it'll be really entertaining to watch me splash ice all over myself tonight. There we go, the Don't Tell Richard. So cheers to everybody. Quench Press redeemed to hydrate, so cheers. Let you guys see that up close first though. There's the Creepy Tiki mug. And in the inside you can see the drink and the banana and the orange. My cat's really interested in it off the side here. I'm just waiting for her to dump it. Get down. Get down. So cheers to all of you to the Don't Tell Richard. Oh, that's really interesting. Quench Press, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you would really enjoy this. The Malby syrup and the coffee really go together, but the cold brew is made using coconut water instead of regular water, so it just gives the whole thing a very subtle flavor. I use two kinds of rum. It says you could use a single rum or a blend, but yeah, this is nice. It's subtle. It's not as fruity tropical as a lot of the tiki drinks, but it's really, really tasty. Yeah, boy, I could definitely see that going into my rotation. That's a very, very tasty. All right, we'll be enjoying that one tonight. Hey, good to see you, Monique. Guess we should do a roll call here. We've got Quench Press. We've got Let's Do This. We've got Monique. Hopefully we'll have a few other regulars show up tonight, too. We'll see how it goes. So tonight, a little less colorful than last week, but we're going to paint Maui, the Tiki god Maui. Now this is the Disney's Polynesian resort interpretation. of Maui, so it may look different than some other interpretations, but that's okay. I think we've got room in the Tiki universe for lots of different takes on these things. So hopefully you guys will like this one. But let me know what beverage you're enjoying tonight. I know Quench Press is probably making something up, but I've been watching Quench Press's Instagram account. Hopefully you're following it and seeing all the really cool bars and hot spots Quench Press is going to in this reopened world. Kind of exciting to see. I'm looking forward to partaking on some of those myself. Hey, good to see you, Catherine. Glad you could join us tonight, you and Whitney, and let me know what beverages or IPAs or whatever you guys are having tonight too. Always interested to know what everyone's imbibing. Whitney wants to know if that's The Rock. That's pretty funny. I don't know. Did he play a version of that character in Moana? I'm not sure. But yeah, this is the Polynesian resort version of Maui. And I was reading the history about this, and they said that the Polynesian resorts had 3 different interpretations of Maui over the years. So depending on when you've visited, it might be a little different. But they said especially in the 70s and 80s, Maui was on everything, like the room numbers on the doors and like the bathroom signs, and it was just like he was like the mascot for the entire hotel. So kind of interesting to see how these things come and go over the years, you know. But that's part of what makes it fun, I suppose, is to kind of get an idea for how people take the different interpretations of these characters. Catherine says, so far just drinking Sprite Zero. Well, I guess that's a safe way to start. I mean, unless you want to drop something in there. I gotta tell you guys, it's weird. I've not through any fault of my own, I've not been having my normal happy hour for like the last 3 or 4 nights, and so I'm a little behind. I gotta play catch up tonight. Quench Press says, I've been going to so many places and having so many cocktails that I'm giving my body a break from drinking yesterday and today. Yeah, I hear that. You've definitely, your Instagram is blowing up with all the places you've been for sure. But I do say, I think you'd like this drink. I think you'd like this Don't Tell Richard. This is it's got some of those interesting kind of like root flavors with the Mauby syrup in there. That mixed with the cold brew gives it a really, really nice, a much more subtle flavor than I thought when I read the ingredients. I thought it was going to be a little overpowering, but it's not at all. If anything, like I used quite a bit of the bitters in there, but I think you could amp it up a little bit more if you wanted to, or maybe even add some, like, shake some spices or something, or not really spices, but you know what I mean, on top. Garnish, if you will. Quench Press says, I got you covered. And then he says, I could go for some cold brew right now. I'm dragging. Well, next time you make it, replace water with coconut water and see what you think. Maybe it's only good in cocktails. I don't know. But it's made for a pretty interesting blend here for sure. So I decided to forego the markers and pens tonight and just kind of dive straight in with the brush. I thought this would be a fun one to just brush in the details and just try to keep it kind of loose and flowing, you know. I think sometimes I can get a little uptight with my art. I mean, sometimes you need to be, you know. when you're trying to do like a likeness or something that's more precise. But I thought, oh, this would be a good one. I could just kind of like, jump in here, keep it loose, keep it flowy. Sometimes those are like really rewarding kind of drawings to do. You just kind of like let it happen a little bit, just let it flow out of the brush. Monique says, I'm drinking 7-Up. 10 p.m. is a bit late for me to partake in happy hour. And Monique, we're doing the posture check. Thank you. I could always use one of those. And to hydrate. Thank you so much, Monique. Yeah, that's pretty tasty. I think you all the flavors really hide the rum. So if you're looking for like a rum forward cocktail, this is not it. This is a really flavorful cocktail that has rum in it. But because of that, because it kind of hides the rum flavor, I think you got to be a little careful. It could sneak up on you. This is one where you could, because of the richness of the flavors, I think it's more of a sipping cocktail anyway. But if you weren't careful, if you got to like 2 or 3 of these, you could be in trouble. Because I think there's about 4 ounces of rum in there, so there's it's got what you need for sure. Catherine says, does the paint dry pretty fast? Yeah, I'm using the acrylics tonight, so they dry pretty quickly. If I'm going to lay down black like this, I'll use the acrylic because once the acrylic dries, it won't reactivate. So then if I wanted to paint into this with the gouache paints or with other acrylics or whatever, the black won't bleed, which is really nice. So even when I'm doing the gouache, I'll usually use either ink or acrylic for the black. And that way, as you put the paint, over it, the black won't smudge, which is nice. I think probably the smartest thing to do would be for me to use like Black India ink, which I used to do, but I don't think I have any in the house anymore. But I should tell you guys something. So we've talked before about how Twitch has had a lot of problems with the digital millennium copyright takedown notices and stuff. So they sent us, me and I guess all the other streamers, information this week, basically telling us to just unpublish all of our old videos. Because apparently what these people are doing are they're going through the old videos and running them through some sort of software or something. And even if you have music just in the background that you're not actually playing over the stream, or maybe you sing the Gilligan's Island theme song or something like that, that's when they're coming after people and issuing these takedown notices and stuff. So I have unpublished all my old videos from Twitch, which is really sad. But most of them do still live on YouTube. And the difference being that YouTube just basically says, hey, you can't monetize this because it has some sort of like copyrighted written content in it. Now, not all my videos do. Probably it's less than 1%, right? But they just are advising streamers to just take down everything except for their live content until they can come up with a solution or agreement or something. So better safe than sorry, so that's what I did. So we'll see what happens short term and long term with that. But I feel like Twitch is just being like unfairly tortured over this because, look, I think every artist should be compensated for their work, and people shouldn't be able to do, live performances of someone else's work and that sort of thing. But I also agree with Twitch, where they're saying like, if you've got a television or a radio on in the background or some music playing in the background and the microphone just happens to just barely pick it up, that they're like coming after these people. And it seems really kind of silly. So it's we'll see how that plays out long term, but that's the situation right now. And you've got to really feel bad for the musicians that are on Twitch that maybe have like, some sort of like performance license that they've purchased or something, but then there's no way they can prove that on their old videos. and people are still coming after him. So kind of weird times. Very strange. You never know what's going to happen from week to week on Twitch, that's for sure. So are you guys watching Shadow and Bone on Netflix? Christy and I are still watching it. She likes it so much she's actually started reading the book. So I think she's finished the first series of books. And I think there's 9 books total, but I think the show is only based on like the first 6 or something. But she just started the second set of 3. So... But she's enjoying it. She really likes the books a lot. I mean, it's YA stuff, but she likes it a lot. She said the show has got such great world building, and she says that the books are even better. So, kind of interesting. Quinch says, I binged it. I was done weeks ago. Yeah, I'm not good about binging stuff. I tend to just do like an episode here, like once or twice a week or something. But yeah, I liked it. I'm kind of surprised, like, the low ratings some of these shows are getting. I think it's almost like the pandemic wound back the clock on all the scripted fiction shows and made people more interested in, like, reality television again or something. Catherine says, haven't watched it yet. I have the books, but I haven't read them yet. Well, Christy gave the books a big thumbs up, so definitely worth checking out. And we like the series so far. I think you really get invested with some of the characters, which is always a good sign. We did finish Jupiter's Legacy, though, and I have to say the twist in the final episode of the season, while maybe it wasn't telegraphed until that episode, it was a little bit of an underwhelming twist, and it seemed like an odd note to go out on. So the show was entertaining enough, and it was definitely a good premise, but I would not be surprised if it doesn't come back for a second season, unless they already had that as part of their contract or something. But I thought that Josh Duhamel actually did a really good job as the main character. But and I really like a lot of Mark Millar's stuff, but it just seemed like the show itself made it difficult to be invested in some of the characters, and so that kind of lowers your sense of what the stakes are. And then especially if they kill off characters that you're not invested in, or that they only introduce that same episode that they kill them, it's hard to be like have a shock factor or to be like upset. So it wasn't a perfect show by any means, so we'll see what happens with that one. I'd say maybe it's a coin toss, who knows. Quinch says, I watched seasons 1 and 2 of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist over the weekend. I remember when that came out and I wanted to watch it, but I never got around to it. Is it worth checking out? And Quinch for Team to Hydrate, cheers to you. Just getting better and better. So tasty. So very tasty. All right, what are we gonna do next on this guy? So you guys know me, just gonna like put in the black details first, and then we can start adding some color to this guy. He's not nearly as colorful as last week's Tiki. He's just got a couple of colors, but he is holding like the traditional Hawaiian flower leis, so we can put some brighter tropical colors into those, I think. That'll give it a little bit of a burst of color. That'll help things out a little bit. Yeah, I haven't been watching as much lately. I'm really into this Smithsonian project right now. So I've got like 4 of the 8 to like the first color review phase, and then the other 4 are in various states of concepting and reviews and approvals and stuff. So it's a pretty arduous project. I mean, it started in December, I think, and even though the deadline is coming up really soon, I think they've had enough changes and shifts in what the target is, that it really feels like it's only started, not even 30 days ago. So it'll be a real challenge. It's kind of really, other than Tiki Tuesday, it's the only thing I'm doing really. I mean, I've got a few comic things that I'm working on, but 90% of my time right now is that, which is good. It's fun. I can't wait, to see it through to the finish line. But it's just a big long project, So it's not like a comic book where you get it done and a few weeks later it's out on the stands and you get that sort of like instant gratification from the fans. This is like a longer type of project where you have to work on it for many, many months, and then it'll be many months later when it's seen. Quinch says the Zoe's Extraordinary playlist was a little cringy at times, but I really enjoyed it. She pretty much gains a superpower, albeit a very unusual one. The music numbers are really good. I like the characters. The love triangle is good. It's funny and touching. All right. That's good to hear. Like I said, I remember when it came out, it looked good, and I just never got around to it for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's like everything else. You see all these shows announced or all these things come out, and you just can't always get to all of them. Or at least I can't. I know some people do. But I've never been the best at sitting still. It's hard for me to do. I did go back though. I saw a couple of old films pop up. HBO Max has Sneakers with Robert Redford. And that one, it holds up pretty well. It's, pre-internet, but a lot of high-tech stuff that you can look back now and either be impressed with or laugh at. But the overall, like, the resolution, the ending is like, oh, wow, that was really convenient, But it was fun to go back. I was working on a project late at night, and I just had that on in the background, so that was fun. And then I did the same thing with So I Married an Axe Murderer, because I hadn't seen that in forever. I think that's on Amazon Prime right now. And I really, I got to say, like, I think it holds up for the most part. Like, Mike Myers is definitely, before Austin Powers, and he's, like, at the prime of his, like, original creativity kind of thing. You see a lot of stuff in there that maybe comes out in Austin Powers later, as far as like the way he plays his own father and some of the other characters and stuff. But as a whole, though, I think the movie holds up, and Nancy Travis is so good in it, and there's so many good actors and comedians in it. Phil Hartman's especially good in it. And you're just like, oh man, kind of forget what like a treasure Phil Hartman was. Oh yeah, right. He was a freaking genius. But yeah, because I've been working so much, instead of catching up on shows, I really just had a lot of stuff I already know on in the background. That way it's not a distraction. I can just sort of like kind of know what's going on as I listen to it, Does that make sense? And then, of course, we're getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con. I mean, they're not having it in person again this year, but Christy and I are doing a pre-recorded video panel, so we're getting everything ready so that we can record that this week. And then I've been invited on someone else's panel, so that'll happen sometime this week too, because I think Monday is the deadline to turn all those in, or at least sometime next week. So everyone's trying to get them done this week. So that should be entertaining, to say the least. Hey, Tomcat. Good to see you. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Hope you guys are staying out of trouble, as it were. All right, just about got the black areas here. But yeah, let us know what you're up to, Tomcat. Good to see you. Looks like we got a lot of our regulars here, plus a few people who aren't in the chat. So thanks to everybody who's hanging out with us tonight. Painting a little Disney tiki. Enjoying the Don't Tell Richard cocktail tonight. That's a fun one to say. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Tonka says, yeah, I've been so busy, it's been a little while. Yeah, it has been a little while. So we've got you and Les Dudas both who hadn't been here in a while. So glad to see you both. Thanks for joining. Always good to see a friendly face around these parts. All right, before I do these rocks, I'm gonna self-hydrate here. That's a winner. It is a winner. All right. So he's just standing on some like little rocks. So I can just put some squiggles and stuff in there, and then we can add a little more dark value to it. Catherine, how's your stream going? How are things? I hope it's massively successful for you. Because we wouldn't want it any other way. All right, just gonna do some little squiggles on these rocks to imply a little bit of texture. And then when that dries, we can come back and work some more value over top of it. Catherine says, it's going okay. I get followers, but not much watching. Huh. Well, you know, I'm always kind of, disappointed is not the right word, but shocked by the low viewer count on some of my streams compared to some of the other streams that, you know, we visit and stuff. So it's just hard to know, you know, what people are or aren't tuning in for. I think mostly it's a connection with the streamer. If it's long term, you know, I think something like the style of the art or the technique of the art can draw people in initially, but it's if they feel a connection with that person. I know that's an area that I struggle with for sure. I'm so glad that you guys all have a good connection with me, but I know Quinch and I have talked about it, and so have Christy and I. You know, sometimes my dry sense of humor or my approach can feel a little disingenuous to people who don't actually know me. I'm like, no, it's for real. This is who I am. Like, I was just raised wrong. That's okay. I'm like, oh, the stories I could tell you. Like, when you're raised by a snake handling, church believing cult as a child and not allowed to watch television or listen to the radio or see movies or do any of that stuff, it's like you don't turn out normal like everybody else, you know? So it's like, yeah, just do my best to be me. That's all I can do. Hopefully people will know that it really is me. Quinch says, it's not Tiki, but I have a new bar to go to. They're only open Fridays and Saturdays. Oh, that sounds fun. Oh, hey, Monique. Thanks for slapping the potato alert sticker. That's awesome. I love that one. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Whitney says, we are getting a kiddie pool for July streams in hopes of increasing viewers and subs. That's hilarious. I'm guessing that you're joking, but based on all the hot tub streamers lately, I think that even if you really did that, it would be hilarious. Whitney says your sense of humor is on point. Well, thank you, Whitney. I appreciate that. Quench says, you're one of the most entertaining and conversational streamers. Some of the people we rate are really dry. Well, I'll take the compliments. Thank you, everybody. It'll just be our secret. It'll be our secret Twitch channel. The world will never know. Oh, hey, speaking of that kind of stuff, hopefully all of you that are Patreon members. Oh, thanks for the cheer, Monique. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Monique cheered 100 bits. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully those of you that are on Patreon saw the new Maikai art today. So that's our monthly art collector that came out today. So those of you that are on Patreon, you get all those downloads, wallpaper, phone wallpaper, all that fun stuff, video, sketch, and then those of you that are on the $35 level, you'll also get a 18 by 24 print of that in the mail, a Z-Clay print, so really nice quality. So thanks for your support. It's so fun to share my artwork with you guys. I really, really appreciate it. All right, I think we got an interesting orangey kind of brown mixed up here. That could look kind of cool. I don't really want to spoil it with too much blue, but maybe we'll put just a touch more in there. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. All right. Tomcat says those dry people probably don't drink enough. And then Whitney says, going to replace the kitty cam with a Katie cam. We can't lose. Boom. I like that. The Katie cam. That's got a nice ring to it. What I see, there's like a new dystopian movie coming out about sort of the whole idea that we have like cameras watching us 24/7 right now. I think it's a French director, they were saying, but it sounds interesting. Monique says, do us non-Patreons not to see it. Yeah, I shared the link earlier. I'll put it in the chat again right now. It's the Maikai. So here's the new link to the new Maikai artwork. And for anyone interested, you can save 10% if you use the code TIKI10 at checkout. But I had fun making that one, so hopefully you guys dig it. That's based on one of the sketches we did here on Tiki Tuesday. Quench redeemed to hydrate. Cheers to you, Quench. Oh, and another hydrate. Cheers to you, double. Wendy says the video froze for us. Uh-oh. It says my bit rate is good and I don't see any problems, but hopefully it's back, and working. Monique says, that's nifty. Thanks, Monique. Appreciate it. I had a lot of fun with that one. I go through the sketches and look at them again with a fresh eye and think of which ones might possibly translate into full illustrations. So I try once in a while to make that happen when I can. And it's interesting. My Etsy store is, people who don't know me, right? I mean, the people who buy from my Etsy store, they've never heard of me. They don't watch on Twitch or anything like that. And it's interesting to see that like the War of the Worlds piece and this new Maikai piece have both been pretty popular on the Etsy store. So I find it interesting what the... Oh, thanks for slapping the Bravo sticker. Man, you are so kind tonight, Monique. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's so interesting to see like what the people who know me and follow me want and purchase, and then like what the people that don't know me and are just buying just for the art they purchase. So I find it interesting, at least. Quinch says I had to drop my video quality to 360 because it kept buffering. I was going to say it's not on my side, but if I look back now, it does show a couple minutes ago a little red bar, but it never gave me it doesn't give me a warning or anything. It says the bit rate is really good right now. So, but it does look like there was some sort of hiccup. Crazy. Monique says the video did not end. Quinch says, and we're back. Yeah, the video definitely did not end, but it does look like there was like a minute or two there where things hiccuped. It's really strange. Whitney says, now Apple TV is telling me my free preview is expired. Aww. That's so sad. Are you guys still seeing weirdness, or is it back to normal? Let me know. I'm going to make sure I don't have any other apps or anything going. No, I don't. All right. Really, really strange. Really, really strange. Tomcat says, the internet is failing. All right. Well, it shows that it's working on my end. So you guys, I'll just leave it to you to tell me if things are looking okay now or not. I trust in you to let me know. When he says too many people are watching, yeah. Well, I think after that hiccup, nobody's watching. Tomcat says, who are you going to call? Mythbusters? When there's something strange in your neighborhood. Oh, crap. They're going to get me now for singing. Monique says, I wouldn't be upset if the worldwide interwebs died. Catherine says, I can watch you on phone. Well, normally I would be really concerned and thinking it was on my end, but at least right now it's showing me that the bit rate is good, the frame rate is good, so very strange. Very strange. I was just so thrilled that night that Quinch came over and we streamed from outside and it happened to all work just perfectly, so that was pretty handy. Because beforehand I was like, well, I mean, this should work, but that doesn't mean that it will. So I think I'll lay down this base level of brown, and then we'll go and add a few details here and there. Tomcat says, who are you going to call? Twitch Busters! Quinch says, it looks like we lost 2 people on that glitch. Yeah, I'm showing that we lost at least half of our viewers on that glitch. Catherine says, the TV says you're not streaming anymore. Oh, that's really sad. Well, that's no good. I'm telling you, it's the music publishing mafia. They're shutting all the streamers down. Or maybe it's because I'm not streaming from a hot tub. Maybe that's the problem. But I've told you guys before, I do not have a body for OnlyFans or from streaming from a hot tub. So that's probably not going to happen. Unless I started a fitness Twitch, and then you'd have to give me a year, and then maybe I could do it. And then the whole thing would be, the whole fad would be over by then, and it wouldn't matter. This brown I mixed up is really weird. It's acting like almost like a glaze. It's very glaze-like. Very strange. Hey, speaking of glazes, though, Quinch Press has seen it. I got to see what I think is probably the final sculpt for the Witch Doctor's Potion Tiki mug. And I know Quinch and I both had one set of eyeballs that we were a little, maybe had some questions or concerns about, but overall it's looking really good. Far better than I had even dared to hope for. So I think the next step on that should be for them to like fire some samples, and I guess they have to make a mold, right? They have to make a mold from the sculpture and then fire up some samples and do some test glazes. So I think that what they're telling me is it'll be a 2-color mug, and then there will also be two different colorways, so like a version A and a version B. Quinch Press says it's looking really good. Yeah, I thought it was looking good too. Tomcat cheered 25 bits. Thank you, Tomcat. Thanks, man. Especially thanks to you and Monique tonight for keeping the love going. I really appreciate it. So yeah, that the mug is. I think it's looking great. Quinch Press says it's looking good, and he's on Team Monique, right? They don't let me get away with anything. So. Hopefully, however long it takes, we'll get to see some glazed samples here in the future. And that'll be really, really exciting. I'm excited. I'm very excited. And I don't get excited about hardly anything. And just seeing the latest sculpt, I was like, yes! Because it's like so close to what I had drawn. I think, a really good interpretation of what I had drawn. So I'm very excited about that. It's like the sculptor understood what I was trying to say with my drawing, which is always a good thing. Now, the other mug, the Tipsy Rum Barrel. I'm telling you, I got no communication. I have no clue, guys. I don't know if that project is still happening. I don't know if it's just delayed. I have no idea. No one's told me anything. I was paid for the design, and before Christmas I was told that I saw a 3D image of one of the sculpts, and I was told that it was going to be, the ceramics were going to be made and all that. But since then, no answered emails, no communication. So I have no idea. I don't know what to tell you guys. I think maybe we just assume the worst, and then if the best happens, that'll just be a bonus. But it's been very strange, so we'll see. Quinch Press says, I was looking at getting a weekend pass for the, how do you say that? The Inuhele, is that right? Or is it Anuhele? Atlanta Tiki Weekend in 2022, which would include a trip to Tiki Tango. That won't be until the end of January. But I can have words with them if they don't have the mug by then. Catherine says, that's the Atlanta one. Yeah, that's the Atlanta one. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, no one's told me anything. So, no one's told me that it isn't happening or that there was a delay or whatever. So I just don't know what's going on with that right now. But the good news is that the Witch Doctor's Potion is looking really, really good. So that means it's time for me to give that company another design. So I think I will finish up the Octo Tiki and see if they're interested in making that one. And then obviously we still have a rough design that I have a better idea for a Mai Tai glass. And then I have another Tiki mug design that I've had in mind for months, but until this Smithsonian project is done, there's just no way that I can even think about dealing with getting to it. But so maybe sometime in July or August, then there'll be another Tiki mug design, and I don't even want to tease it because it's just so far away, but just trying to keep the wheels turning on all that stuff. But it will be definitely nice to see one of these actually come out, right? Actually get made and actually get released would be really nice. So, but it certainly looks like Witch Doctor's Potion is well on its way. Tasty cocktail. Gotta love it. Oh, thanks for using the Octo Tiki emote there, Catherine. Hey, Catherine, are you allowed to use your emotes in my chat? You should be able to, right? You should show us some of your emotes and what people would get if they subscribe to you. That could be fun. Quinch Press says, I want a mug that looks like this drawing. Well, considering this is Disney's take on Maui, the Tiki God, Disney can probably hook you up with one of those. But they probably wouldn't be too happy if I did it. Now, I'm sure I could do something similar in this style. I saw somebody today on one of the Tiki Mug Facebook groups. They took like the Disney Dole Whip and one of the other Tiki idols and mixed them together. So it's like the Tiki's face, but the hat like is the Dole Whip shape. And then used like non-Disney colors like pinks and purples and stuff. And they're getting away with doing it by, by calling it something else. But it was just the right amount of mashup that I would think that even if you were Disney, you'd be like, yeah, let them do it. It's fine. And I was like, oh, it's so cute. I want it. Quinch says, I didn't mean that exactly. Yeah. Well, I'll have to, and now that I've done a couple of these Disney ones, I've definitely got a little bit more of a vibe for their balance of like tiki, tribal, and cute. And I do feel like there's something there if I can reinterpret that, on my own. Oh, Catherine says, I have an emote. It's the Coral the Flamingo. Oh, cool. I'm so blind. Oh, that is really cute. I like that. Did you do that in Photoshop or on one of the iPad apps or Coral the Flamingo? There you go. If you subscribe to Catherine's channel, you too could have Coral the Flamingo in your list of emotes to use elsewhere on her channel and this channel and every other channel that we raid. So that could be fun. Monique cheered 26 bits. Woo! Thank you so much, Monique. I appreciate it. I was going to say, I feel like I won the lottery tonight, man. You guys are so nice. We got cheers, we got stickers, we got bits. Dogs and cats living together. It's a banner night. It's Banner Tiki Tuesday. Speaking of winning the lottery, I saw a thing that said that more quote-unquote 30-year-olds, and by 30-year-olds, they actually mean, I think, like 25 to 35. More 30-year-olds are leaving the workforce right now, like a higher number than ever before, because they've become like overnight millionaires and stuff from like Bitcoin and GameStop and all that kind of stuff. I was like, wow, that's crazy to think about. Like, they said it could actually affect like long-term stuff like the job market and Social Security and everything, because they're kind of like bowing out of the, wage earning situation, 35 years too soon. So it's kind of weird to think about. And I was like, I'm not jealous, but I was like, I could be a GameStop millionaire. That would be cool. Whitney redeemed to hydrate. You know what, Whitney? I should top this up. That's what I should do. Not over the artwork. Oh, that looks like a lot of melted ice and not any alcohol. That's what that looks like to me. Well, it's like 50-50. We can limit that. It's got a nice flavor. I guess the cold brew comes through. Oh my gosh, Monique cheered 24 bits. Thank you, Monique. Whitney redeemed to hydrate. Whitney cheered 20 bits. My goodness, you guys, thank you so much. Cheers, Monique. Wow. And cheers, Whitney. Thank you. You guys are so kind. Okay, let's see. What do we got to do here? I'm getting distracted. I got to make a little bit darker version of this brown. Not a lot darker, a little bit darker. So we can do some details. Kind of made a mess of that, but that's all right. Put a little more red in there too. I don't know, what do you guys think? Could you just watch me mix paint for an hour? I was telling Christy the story that, was it Sherwin-Williams paint that kid got fired from? He was posting up like videos on TikTok of him mixing the paint, and his bosses were like, "You made those videos on company time, you're fired," instead of being like, "You've got us millions of people interested in our product and service." Quench Press gifted a tier 1 sub to Whitney. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you, Quench. And Quench has given away 11 gift subs to the channel. Wow, thank you so much, Quench Press. It's too nice. It's a banner night. Banner night here at Tiki Tuesday. We got good Tiki vibes going. Alright, so we'll do a little bit of details on this guy. What is it? It's 8 o'clock. We're only 1 hour in. So yeah, we can put some details on this guy. And then we'll put in his yellow color spots. And we got to make these traditional flower lays. We got to make them look nice and pretty too. So can't figure out what's up with my paints tonight. They're acting a little more like a glaze and a little less like a paint. But maybe it's the weird heat wave we're having here or something. I don't know. Whitney says, we rated a stream where we watched someone mix paints. Oh, well, there you go. Like that was what the stream was about, or it just so happened that that's what was going on when you got there. I always find it interesting, like when I do the Photoshop stuff, the things that people are entertained by or impressed by that you wouldn't expect because it's just something that you do all the time, But to some people, it's brand new and they've never seen it before. So I guess the paint mixing thing, it can kind of be that same kind of thing. It's like a magic trick, You're just like, you got your 3 colors of paint and you can turn them into any color you want. And for a lot of people, to me, it's like if someone was really good at doing like crazy math problems out of their head, I'd be like, what? It's kind of how I think some people think about the mixing paint colors. They're just like, I don't get it. How does that work? Monique says Ohio's first 1 million vax lotto winner is getting so much hate on her Facebook page. It's unreal. People are hunting her down her personal page to throw shade. Well, hey, I don't know all the details of that, but she got the vaccine. She won the prize. Good for her. Haters are going to hate no matter what, right? And if that got people to go and get the vaccine, then it did its job. That's the most important thing. And I feel sorry for her then, what does it say that we like live in a world where you can win a prize, right? You didn't rob a bank, you didn't make a sex video, you won a prize. And people are like, you suck, I'm gonna kill you. It just doesn't make any sense, It just kind of shows how broken people are and how broken society is, like you just can't be happy for someone that like they won. And are they that cruel about every aspect of their life? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Catherine Cheer, 25 bits. Thank you, Catherine. Whitney says, we Octopolis rated. I think it was the animal portrait guy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't think of his name all of a sudden, but I actually like his art. I like his channel. I think he's entertaining. And I mean, wow, what talk about a great, how it's worked out really good for him business-wise, and that, everyone wants him to do pet portraits, and it's what he's good at, so, and people find it entertaining, so what a win-win it's been for him, Monique's like, yes, it was the Vax Lotto. Damn, autocorrect. When he says, hey, Monique, when I win, they can throw whatever they want at me, not on Facebook, so good luck. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, the first thing I would do when I won the $1 million was get off of Facebook. I've told a million people, I'm like, the only reason I'm on Facebook is because of my work. Like, it's really the best way I have to reach people and for them to reach me. So if I was in a situation where I didn't need that, then I probably wouldn't have it. I've told you guys before about, my former neighbor who, I swear the only reason he's like sane and rational is because he's not on social media. All of his friends like turned into complete like Trump crazy Fox News weirdos over the last couple of years, and he's like, how come I didn't fall for that stuff? I'm like, because you're not on social media. He's like, oh yeah, right. All right, getting some details working in here now. Quinch says, I signed up for my first crypto account today. Oh, that's really cool. I think the reason I haven't done that is that I'm not single. I was making a joke about this earlier today with someone else that like, I think all these like sudden crypto millionaires are like mostly single guys, and it's going to sound sexist. It's not meant to sound sexist. It's meant to sound that women are smarter than men and more rational, and that's that, like, because I think if they were married, their partners wouldn't like put up with that. They're like, you're going to risk what? On this made up money? No way. That's not going to happen, right? And the percentage of them that it works out for, I'm sure, is much lower than the percentage that it doesn't work out for. It's kind of like Vegas, right? So, but good for you, Quinch. You meet all the correct criteria to be successful in that venture, and I hope that you are. And I was joking around with Christy about it. I was like, when I was in my 20s, I was like really ahead of the curve on things like Photoshop and HTML and stuff like Flash and different kinds of technologies. And I was like, I'm sure if I was a high school or college kid now, I would have been all over all that stuff. But it's all Greek to me right now. All right, let's see if we can get just one little bit there. Monique says she lives in a $350,000 house and is a mechanical engineer. People are pissed it's tax dollars going to someone who doesn't need the money. Oh, well, that happens all the time, though. They're just, I mean, there's crazy tax breaks that go to billionaires and stuff all the time. So why aren't they upset about that? Just because it's not publicly visible. Quinch says, I personally think it has, not personally, Quinch Press says, I think it has more to do with anti-vaxxers being upset about someone being rewarded for being vaccinated. I think you're right too, Quinch. I definitely think you're right about that. Wendy says, I had a friend of a friend who does digital portraits of her 2 cats and a dog. Such a fun picture. Yeah, when I was a kid, I think my first commissioned art was doing pet portraits for like older people, like retirees and stuff. I was probably middle school, and I don't know. I probably did that for like a summer. I did a bunch of pet portraits for people and probably made pretty good money at it. It was fun. I first admit I was probably way too young and not good enough as an artist, but it was still a good and fun experience. I mean, I think you never think you're a good enough artist. Like, you always have that self-doubt, and no matter how good you have, or like become or what you learn, there's always so much room to grow that you're never really like fully like, I'm a kick-ass artist now. Because there's always something to improve upon, something to be better at. Whitney says, and then I had her create an original My Little Pony for Catherine. Ooh, guys, man, I want to spoil something so bad about that, but I can't. I'll just say that I'm working on a comic, or I'm coloring a comic that has a My Little Pony reference in it that's really cool, but it won't be out for probably 3 or 4 months, so I can't really say. Whitney says, that's why Katie put all of our retirement in Funko Pops and Strawberry Shortcake toys. Hey, I think that sounds like a smart idea. And I like Catherine's emote response to that. I think it's appropriate. Nothing wrong with Strawberry Shortcake toys. I mean, even if you don't make any money, they smell good, so you can't go wrong. It's got to be a better investment than Beanie Babies. That's all I'm saying. Quinch says, the one I signed up for was developed by Stanford graduates, and you use your cell phone instead of a computer. And unlike Botcoin's energy intensive, it uses a more eco-friendly model. Nice. Yeah, did you see the one where like cops raided? I think this is in the UK. Cops raided a house that they thought was growing weed because the place, I guess, was using so much energy that they thought it must be like have like grow rooms and stuff. But it turned out that they were just like Bitcoin mining. Whitney says, that woke Katie up. The Beanie Babies joke, saying that her Strawberry Shortcake was a better investment than Beanie Babies. I would agree with that. Before I move on to the bright colors, let's go ahead and put another wash of something onto these rocks. Put a little blue in here, I think. That'll give it an interesting look. See how dark this is or isn't. Monique says, they're upset about that too. I personally think this whole lottery deal is stupid, getting vaccinated simply because you think you've a snowball's chance in hell of winning when the odds are clearly stacked against you is just incomprehensible to me. Yeah, I am. People should get vaccinated because it's the right thing to do and because it benefits all of society and like lots of other reasons, you know. The fact that we have to like incentivize people to do what should be second nature is kind of sad. On the other hand, if it's working and if it's raising the vaccination rates, then I'm not against it. But it is sort of just a poor reflection on our society that we have to do it at all. You know, people should just be lined up to get the vaccine, and even if they're not into it, be like, well, I don't think I need it, but better safe than sorry. Like, that's what it should boil down to. But people are morons, and they would rather believe that they're all-knowing and infallible. Right? Catherine's like, My Little Pony. Whitney says, hey, Monique, in Colorado, it's a 1 in 500,000 chance, which is way better than the lottery. The money in these lotteries does not come from state. It's all federal funds. Well, there you go. Yeah, and I can assure you that $1 million in the grand scheme of things from federal taxpayer dollars is a drop in the bucket. I mean, it doesn't sound, I mean, I don't want to make it sound inconsequential, but like, I think it cost $1 million or more than $1 million to pave like 1 mile of road, right? So for the government to give someone $1 million doesn't really impact them. Okay, let's do the yellow details, and then we'll do some pretty colors in the flowers. Let me switch my water. Let's get some clean water. Clean water for the yellow. That water was looking pretty murky. We can do better than that. We have the technology. We can do better. All right. Let's put just a touch of red into that yellow to warm it up a little bit. There we go. Looks much nicer now. Whitney redeemed to hydrate. Cheers. All right, let's see how this yellow is looking now. Oh yeah, now we'll get some pop. Like I said, this guy's not too colorful, but at least between the yellow and the flowers, we can get some oomph out of him. I feel like I need to be a little bit more centered up on this camera sometimes. I move around too much. I'm looking forward to this new Apple webcam thing where it keeps you centered up in the frame as you move around. That's exactly what I need, but it'll probably be a year or two before I can upgrade to a new computer to take advantage of that. So for now, I'll just keep moving myself and the computer around. Oh, Maui. You're such a funny looking little tiki god. You're kind of cute. You're kind of like a Funko Pop. Yes, you are. Surprised that didn't wake my cat up. She's like, nope. She's like, don't care. Not getting up. You can't make me. She's like, I'm not having it. Do you guys play any sort of like traditional games ever? I think like, not because of Queen's Gambit or anything, but like, oh, I know, Apple, they turned on that Apple Arcade. They turned on like classic board games. Maybe it was like 2 months ago. And so if you have the Apple One membership and you get access to Apple Arcade, then you can get access to all these like classic board games and card games and stuff. And so I downloaded chess, and I hadn't played in years and years and years. And so I've been playing every night when I go to bed, just as a way to like relax. And it's been really fun. I hadn't played in a long time, and it's kind of interesting to revisit a game from like your childhood or whatever, and see it through like fresh eyes and like have a better understanding of the mechanics of the game. And even now I don't really have strategy. I'll have to work on that, but it's been fun to revisit it, to appreciate it, Whitney says, some tabletop games have been playing Gloomhaven with friends. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I like that kind of stuff. I have a friend who he's I guess a contractor, for lack of a better word, but I think he like designs and builds his own tabletops and stuff, and some of them are just like outstanding, and you're just like, wow, that's so cool. All right, I'm going to scooch this just a bit so I get more of it. Here, I'm going to spin this palette. That's what I'm going to do. Spin it. And we use these little paint pockets to make the last few colors. So I want to do like a pinky red for some of these flowers, I think. Yeah, that'll be nice, kind of melony, salmony kind of color. Whitney says, really bad chess is fun on the iPhone. You know what? I heard about that one, and I haven't played it yet. I saw it. It looked like it would be fun. I got something similar to that, though. Oh, I've been playing Clap Hands Golf, because that's one of the free games on Apple Arcade. And I've really been having fun with that. It's kind of like team golf, and it's all like anime manga based, and so you get these like really, I mean, some of them are pretty stereotypical characters, but you get like a whole cast of characters, and so no one character plays more than one hole at a time usually, so you're usually, you know, playing with at least like 3 or 4 characters, and it's kind of fun. And I saw another one. Oh, I saw one called What the Golf, and like it looks like you're going to hit the golf ball, but then like instead, you know, like you might hit the caddy, and the caddy flips through the air, and the caddy is the thing that you have to get into the hole and stuff. Just like really crazy stuff like that. It's like totally bizarre. Whitney says, I used to love playing chess when I was younger, probably around the time chess was new. Yeah, I played quite a bit as a kid. I think it was just because my dad and his friends played, and so I kind of seemed like it was a way to connect with or bond with him or something. All right, so let's do like maybe a blue or a purple or something. Whitney says, golf like that is the only way to play. I've been meaning to buy the full version of Power Star Golf on Xbox. I used to play like Mario Golf and stuff. And I like some of the like either golf games or like putt-putt golf games. I was trying to think if there's one really cool like mini golf game. I can't think of what it's called now. Where each level just gets crazier and harder with like weird bank shots and stuff. Oh, Monique says, why is that one longer? Well, you know, the flower lays, they're not all the same size, right? I mean, some are for short people, and some are for tall people. Some are for little kids. Some are for fat adults. It's like a necklace, right? They're not all the same size. I told you guys, though, Monique, she doesn't let me get away with anything. She either got like eagle eyes. All right, now we can see if we can work some more values into these. Monique's like, okay. I think my response was supposed to be like, that's what she said. Just get a little bit more color daubs kind of going here. Just to get that like implied detail, you know, the illusion that there's more going on maybe than what there really is. Kind of like when I was a kid and the first time I saw like William Alexander or Bob Ross, and they would use that fan brush to do a tree, and you're just like, whoa, and that's like when it hits you, you're like, oh, like the tools and the techniques can like really make a difference. Monique says, I have symmetry issues. That's pretty good. I'm trying to think if I do or I don't. I don't think I do. I mean, maybe on some things, but I don't think so. I think overall I'm pretty okay with like asymmetry. I think especially on like architecture, asymmetry can really work and look really good. It doesn't take the most concentration, but it definitely takes a little bit of concentration. Just try to keep those from getting too crazy. Catherine says, hey Monique, I have to pick out equal-sized peanut M&Ms for each side of the mouth. Ooh, that's a good, that's like a good, like that's like straight out of like a movie or something. That's a good one, Catherine. It's not a tick. What do we call that? Regardless, that's a good one. Like that, like, you could use that in like a book or something like about a character, and people would be like, "Yeah." All right, let's go back to this yellow. And let's just get. Little dobs of color in there. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. I really like that one, Catherine. I was trying to think if I had any like similar quirk to that. I'm not sure, but I like that one. I think that's a good one. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I can't think of what it would be, but kudos to you because I think you win regardless. That's a really good one. Let's go one more darker on the red. And we'll see how this is starting to look. Catherine. I think that sounds like a character trait that you could use in like a detective book or a crime book or something. That you set it up at the beginning, and then that's the payoff at the end. How they know that like she didn't kill herself because she would have never have eaten, 3 small M&Ms in a row or something like that. Like it must have been murder. Oh, I was listening to one on Old Time Radio the other day, and somewhere in the story they said, the guy who died, he would get a phone call every Thursday, and he would be on the phone for hours, and everyone's like, oh, I wonder who he called or whatever. And so at the end of the story, the way the detective figured out that it was the maid who killed the guy was they're like, well, he got the phone calls on Thursdays, and everyone knows that Thursdays are the maid's days off. And I was like, everyone in 1930 something maybe, but I like that's the kind of like clue that I never would have known. like oh, everyone knows that Thursday is the maid's day off. Like, okay, it's like that's how we knew the maid did it. Catherine says, Whitney benefits if there are ever odd numbers, so he gets the extra cookie or candy. Oh, well, that is a benefit. That sounds like a real benefit to me. Catherine says, that would be funny. Yeah, the whole detective thing, I think that could work. I think that could work really well. And that's how we knew that it was Willy Wonka that killed her. All right, let's just go one darker on this. When he says, sounds like a story from Encyclopedia Brown Book. Yeah, right? Yeah, I would agree with that. Just trying to layer up some color here so that these look like they have a little bit of depth and dimension and form. But I didn't want to do black outlines on these at the beginning, which would have probably made the form easy to see, but I thought it would like weigh them down visually too much. I wanted them to still look like light and colorful like flowers. So hopefully it all works. All right. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad indeed. All right, what do we think, guys? Oh, hey, look, I made a mistake. I always catch at the end, right? Just in time. Missed his belly spot. How could I do that? Missed his belly spot. All right. I think we got it. I think he's looking pretty good. Unless something's really jumping out at us. I think he's looking all right. Oh, thank you, Monique. Thank you so much. Thanks for slapping the applause sticker. Oh, and Quinch redeemed to hydrate. Thanks to you, Quinch. Cheers. All right. Well, I guess that means it's time to run the credits. And we can see all the stickers and bits and cheers and everything you guys did today. So let's just hang on for about 30 seconds and we'll run the credits. Hopefully they'll work. Wow, that was a good credits. That was like worthy right there. And we're getting closer to a sticker party, so maybe next week we'll kick off that sticker party. It's looking pretty good. Catherine says, love the lay texture. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much. Well, I was just playing around. I'm glad it worked out. You know, nothing risked, nothing gained, right? Let's see. Quinch says he's raid hunting. Oh, well, we'll give him a minute to do that. First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody, obviously, for your subscriptions, for your follows, for supporting me on Patreon. Really appreciate it. Don't forget about Shaker and Spoon. It's not an advertisement. I don't make any money if you use Shaker and Spoon. But I do get... Oh, thank you, Monique. Thank you for the applause. Thank you, Monique. I do get a discount on my shaker and spoon if you buy a shaker and spoon. So definitely check them out if you want to get a cocktail box. It's worth looking at. And I have my new Maikai art available for purchase for those of you that would like it. And you can save 10% with the code TIKI10 at checkout. So I'll put that in the chat as well. And hopefully we bought Quench Press a little bit of time to look for a raid. We'll see what he says here. Cody Shibley. Let me see. Cody. Hey, there he is. See, Cody's got 76 viewers. And we have 5. I don't know how it works. I'm clearly doing something wrong, guys. But I thank you for your support. I thank you for watching. Get your likes and your cheers and your emotes ready. We're going to raid here in just a few seconds. So get those emotes ready. Get ready to give Cody Shibley, or Shibi, a really warm response. I'm going to go in there with you guys too. So here we